Michigan fans, Michigan women's hockey is live and on the air. Welcome, everybody, to the Sioux. We are in Sault Ste. Marie at Lake Superior State University here at Taffy Able Arena. And Michigan, pulling off the big win yesterday, is now 1-1-1. Starting off with that 3-3 tie versus Michigan State. Back on October 1st and October 2nd, they fell in a hard-fought game, 3-1 at Adrian College. And then yesterday, they won 1-0 here at the Norris Center, getting their first win of the season. And now it's the rematch, a early Sunday game. We appreciate you joining us and watching before you hit your professional football watching action, or whatever you plan on doing on this Sunday. As let's take a look at that game from yesterday, as it was a goal late in the second, and we'll go over that a bit more, but let's take a look at the power play. Michigan was it's interesting to say 1 for 28. That must be 28 minutes. It can't be 28 power plays. But I believe that would probably be more 1 for 8. And Lake Superior State 0 for 5. Michigan serving 10 penalty minutes. That's 5 infractions. So Michigan had 5 infractions. Lake Superior State had 7. So that would be 1 for 7 for Michigan, 0 for 5 for Lake Superior State. See, I can do some basic math. In the first, there was no scoring penalties. At 11:36, it was Sarah Lamb going off for tripping. And then at 15:16, it was Sarah Gremmer going off for roughing. In the second, there was a series of penalties. At 1:41, it was Katie German going off for holding. Then at 5:22, Madison Pott went off for roughing. At 8:11, it was Emily Oakes going off for interference. Then at 9:20, it was Maria DeCreasy going off for roughing. At 11:34, Michigan's Kelsey Swanson went off for roughing. Then at 16:55, it was Regan Ackroyd going off for a cross-check. And at 19:54, it was Madison Pott going off for tripping, and that turned into a power play goal with 0.5 seconds left, at the 19:59 mark. It was Rubin scoring the assist to Evans on the power play. In the third, Megan Jerry went off for hooking at 1:15. Then at 6:47, it was Ava Gargiulo going off for interference. And then at 18:41, it was Clara Kolwich going off for tripping. Poneth played between the pipes for Michigan. She faced 31 shots on goal, saved all 31 of those shots. And Tkachuk was between the pipes for Lake Superior State. She faced 27 shots on goal and saved 26 of them. So that puts Michigan, as we said, at 1-1-1. They have this game versus Lake Superior State today. Then they will next be in action Thursday, October 13th. That will be at Yost Ice Arena. That is a 8 p.m. game, so not quite as late as they are sometimes. And they are hosting the University of Utah, so check that game out. Then they will bring in on Friday the 21st, Indiana Tech, a powerhouse team, will come into Yost Ice Arena. That is a 8 p.m. game as well. Then the next road trip for Michigan will be on October 22nd, as Michigan will go down to Indiana Tech. That at the Sport One Parkview Ice House Arena. And that's not too far a drive away, so we should be able to get to that game. Then Lake Superior State comes right back in, this time down at Yost Ice Arena, and that will be on November 5th and November 6th. The November 5th game is at 4:30. The November 6th game Sunday is at 3:30. After that, Michigan goes on the road to Salt Lake City to play a game versus Montana State University, University of Utah, and University of Massachusetts Amherst. I'm still trying to figure out a way with my day job and with all our video gear to try and get out there. So we can't guarantee it at this point, but fingers crossed we'll be able to figure out some logistics and get out to Salt Lake. If not, I know at least the University of Utah will be broadcasting the middle game of that set. When we take a look at the points per player, that did not get updated, unfortunately, as of yet. The game is still sitting as unconfirmed inside of the ACHA site. But what that will mean is that that Rubin now has a point. So, folks, with a point, DeCreasy has a goal for a point. Rubin has a goal for a point. Goldman has a goal for a point. Lindahl has a goal for a point. And Swanson has a goal for a point. Eliason has an assist for a point, as well as Evans with an assist for a point. And that is what you have at this point for the Wolverines. Poneth stays fantastic between the pipes, as her save percentage should have increased. It was 9-0 before that, before she stopped all 27 shots in yesterday's game. Goals against average was at 3. That is going to drop down, as that should be, I can do some basic math, that would be 2 and some change now. Lake Superior State University, what they have coming up next is they are on the road on October 29th and October 30th. So just before Halloween, they will be down visiting Miami University at the Grogan Ice Center. The Saturday game is at 7:45. The Sunday game is at 2:15. And then they have those 2 games up at Yost Ice Arena. Again, Saturday, November 5th, 4:30, and Sunday, November 6th at 3:30. Then Lake Superior State hosts Davenport University for a pair of games on November 11th, Friday, and November 12th on Saturday. Friday is a 7 p.m. game. Saturday is a 1 o'clock game. That's what's coming up for Lake Superior State University. There, if we flip over, no scoring for them in yesterday's game, so their players' stats stay the same. Jaremko has 2 goals up at the top of the list with 2 points. Pott has 2 assists for 2 points. Other scores, Ackroyd has a goal for a point. Jerry has a goal for a point. And Adams has has an assist for a point. We do have a good roster now, so hopefully I'll be able to give a little bit more credit to those Laker players. Again, this is a squad that they had a Division II team last season that won the CCWHA Division II, and now they have both a Division II and a Division I squad, and a lot of these players played a big part in that CCWHA Championship in Division II, but also a number of new players coming in who weren't on that team last season. So it's a good mix. They played Michigan very, very tough yesterday, as it was only a power play goal with half a second left at the end of the second. That was the go-ahead goal, that by, of course, Ruben. Well, let's take a moment. Let's play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band as they have the lights off here, getting ready to go as we are live at Lake Superior State University. And you are watching Michigan Women's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. As we are approaching game time, they have a wonderful light show going on with Lakers colors, blue and yellow. Those are some very close to good colors there. As they have that flashing around, you can get some sunlight coming in as across the way behind the suites there are windows out to the parking lot. Let us actually pull up and turn things over to the public address announcer if we can.
Starting in goal, number 41, Sandrine Hawkins. On defense, number 20, Annabella Levinson. On defense, number 11, Mia Bryce. On left wing, number 40, Mariah Evans. On center ice, number 25, Nika Rubin. And on right wing, number 7, Julia Lindahl. Your coach, Ben Rubin. And now your starting lineup for your Lake Superior State Lakers, starting in goal, number 1, Janine Miller. On defense, number 17, Heather Lamb. On defense, number 7, Aaliyah Adams. At left
just about to get ready here for game number 2. Michigan women's hockey takes on Lake Superior State University. Wolverines versus the Lakers as Michigan gathered around Honiff to our right. Michigan going from right to left here in this opening period. Michigan in their dark blue jerseys with the white stripe across the middle, that big block M on the front. Numbers back in maize, names on the back, love to see that. And the dark pants with the white stripe with the maize stripe down the side. And those wonderful winged helmets as Lake Superior State in their dark yellow or darker yellow jerseys with the blue on the shoulders, with the numbers on the shoulders and on the back. Numbers in white on the shoulders, blue on the back. Blue pants with the yellow and white stripe and their blue helmets. Changing goal from yesterday. Kachuk played in goal for the Lakers yesterday. It is now Miller today. They have a couple solid, very solid goaltenders. Michigan, of course, one of the best goaltenders in the nation. Honiff, ever steady between the pipes, takes her place as we're ready to get underway. Rubin, that goes back into Lakers territory. Adams chases it into the near corner, pulling it back behind. Evans trying to get to it. Heather Lamb feeds it in along the far boards. Now Gary puts it in along the end boards, right back behind Miller. Heather Lamb over on the near side, getting it ahead to Jeremko. And it goes all the way back into the Michigan zone. That will be icing. And head right back into the Lakers' end. As we have about 40 seconds gone here. So far in this contest. Try and get my mic equalized there. Face off in the far face-off circle. That to Miller's right. Gargiulo trying to win that as that comes back to the blue line. Held in by Michigan. Gathered in by Adams as she rockets it off the near boards. All the way back in along the end boards in the Michigan zone. Jeremko trying to get to it and pulled back by DeCreasy. DeCreasy flips it in along the boards outside the far circle. Bryce gets it back all the way back to the Lakers blue line, sent ahead by Heather Lamb. Now Gary and fed in by Jeremko, but offsides as the puck kind of got stuck in along the wall. Gary ended up going into the zone before Jeremko could get the puck into it. So face-off just outside the Michigan zone in the near face-off circle. As Matthews in to take that face-off, Pot on the other side for the Lakers. Swanson trying to grab it in along the near boards. That goes all the way back. Trisha Smith gets it in along the end boards of her own zone. Swanson trying to pull that away. Swanson still battling into the near corner. Swanson pulls it out onto the near circle. Backhanded shot right through. Matthews trying to get to it, but she couldn't quite get a stick on it. Battle for it. That comes underneath the far circle. Now moved over and along the near boards. Fed ahead to Ackroyd. Ackroyd trying to get it out, but held in at the near point by Kolwich. Just underneath the far circle. That moved ahead as Tonello puts it in along the near boards of the neutral zone, trying to knock that away. Big collision with Kolwich right in front of the Lakers bench. Swanson has it at her own blue line, feeds it all the way in along the far boards. Christensen picks it up there, trying to avoid pressure. Christensen gets away from Oakes, but that pulled away. Here comes the Lakers as Hornstra gets it over. That knocked away and fed down by forehand. Now coming in, Christensen with the shot from outside the far circle. That goes into the near corner. And Knapp battling outside the near circle in the Lakers zone. Katie German gets it right at center ice, puts it in along the far boards. Christensen has it on the far circle and picked up, trying to go the other way, was Oakes. Oakes now gathers at top of the far circle inside of her own zone. Oakes over her own blue line, coming over center ice. Oakes trying to fire it into the Michigan zone. Grabbed by forehand, who feeds it into the neutral zone. Here comes Malashevsky. Malashevsky, top of the far circle, has that poke checked away. Good job by Knapp for the Lakers. Coming all the way back, forehand, back to her own blue line. She feeds that ahead. Here comes Michigan racing, and is Lindahl on the far circle. Lindahl with a shot that just goes wide. Lindahl with one goal on the season. trying to hold it in is Evans at the near point. That slips out and offsides the call as Michigan trying to get back on sides, but that just came off the other side. Now face off just outside the Lakers zone. That comes back, fired back in by Bryce. Putting it in along that, intercepted by Michigan, racing in. Lindahl with a shot and a save by Miller. The puck underneath the near circle. As trying to get it out in front is Evans, racing over is Levinson with a shot. That got knocked off of Sarah Lamb's skate, but holding it in is Evans at the far point. Lindahl moving it back to the blue line, now in the high slot. Lindahl comes over onto the near circle. That poke checked away by Sarah Lamb. Moving it over Gargiulo. Gargiulo into the near corner. Gargiulo outside the near circle, fires it back to the near point for Levinson with a shot. And deflected off of a defender. Picked up, Gary feeds it all the way down the neutral zone, racing back to get it. DeCrazy has it in along the end boards of her own zone. She's trying to avoid pressure by Jaremko. Here comes DeCrazy over her own blue line, racing over center ice. DeCrazy gains the zone, moving it through the slot, coming over. Gargiulo trying to get to it. That knocked away. Good poke check by the Laker defense. All the way back into the neutral zone. Kolwich trying to fire it ahead. Bouncing puck wouldn't settle down for Eliasson. Now pulled back over by Pock. Pock moving over to Adams. Now bringing it in along the near boards is Ackroyd. Ackroyd has Kolwich knocking that puck away from her. Coming ahead with it is Swanson for Michigan. Swanson comes in onto just outside the near circle. All the way back. Izzy German now has it at her own blue line. Sends it down the far boards. Michigan comes into the zone. Trying to get it over there is Simmer. Simmer into the far corner. Simmer outside the far circle. Now switches directions, heading back behind the goal, firing it out in front, and Miller grabbing it and making the save. 15:29 left to go here in the first, scoreless so far between Michigan and the Lakers. Again, a little different bench configuration here than most rinks. It's a lot like Munn Ice Arena, where Michigan is across the way with their bench, and Lake Superior State over on the near side, as well as to their benches right, the score box and the penalty boxes. Puck outside the near circle in the Lakers zone. Katie German holds it in, banks it off the far boards. Rubin takes it into the far corner. Now Lindahl has it outside the far circle and pulled away. Heading ahead with it is Oakes. Oakes gets it over to Knapp. Knapp sends it back deep into the Michigan zone. Trying to gather that away is Katie German outside the near circle. She's battling Gibbs. Katie German pulls that off of the near wall, but that grab by Knapp sent right back to the near point to Oakes. Oakes feeds it over to Gibbs. That puck into the near corner in the Michigan zone. Trying to pull it back and along the near boards is Rubin. And puck still loose outside the near circle and along the near wall. Rubin still working hard, digging. Levering, now Katie German pulls it back over. Here comes Evans. That puck just off of the front of her stick. Fired right back in by Bremer. Katie German brings it down the far side of the ice. Here comes Evans. Evans over center ice. Evans trying to fire it in. That grab by Book and sent the other direction for the Lakers. Right at center ice. Right along the boards in the neutral zone. Now a battle for it at the far point, just in front of the Michigan bench. His forehand trying to knock that away. Bringing it ahead. Here comes DeCrazy. DeCrazy, top of the near circle with a shot. Bremer deflected that off of a skate into the near corner. DeCrazy trying to poke that away. Now Eliasson pinned against the boards. Bringing that away was Heather Lamb. Into the far corner. Book trying to get it away. DeCrazy fighting hard outside the far circle. Puts it over to Eliasson. Eliasson, her centering attempt wouldn't come off the stick properly. And here comes the Lakers racing ahead with it. Michigan stealing it away over to Levinson in along the near boards. Levinson feeds it ahead. And puck drifts all the way back into the Lakers zone. Grabbed by Heather Lamb. She knocks it off the far boards. Slips back to the Michigan blue line. Bryce has it there. Sending it in along the near boards is Swanson. Swanson trying to get a centering attempt, but that knocked away. And Gary brings it back the other direction for the Lakers. Levinson now sends it right to the center ice logo. And to pick it up was Simmer trying to get it over to Swanson, but that pulled back over. Here comes Heather Lamb with a rocket shot from the top of the bars. Circle upon us with a save. 13 minutes even left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far between the Lakers and the Wolverines. We thank you for joining us on Sunday afternoon hockey action. A fun way to start off the day as that puck into the far corner. Pull back over while Leshevsky comes over to try and help out Izzy German in the far corner. Now that brought around. Kolwich feeds it ahead. That all the way back into the Lakers zone. Heather Lamb has it on the far boards of her own zone, feeds it ahead. As Tonello gets it outside the far circle to Pot. Pot trying to feed it back to Knapp. Now there's a shot and a save by Poneth. Oh, high slot shot for Adams. Poneth makes a very, very solid save through traffic. 12:33 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far between these two squads. Face-off will be to Poneth's right in the far face-off circle. If you want to reach out to us, send us a message at arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. That's arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. I do my best to check that between the periods. That puck popped up right in front of the scorer's bench and out of play. That ended up into the penalty box. As the official, no one's working the penalty box, so the official has to go in and get it. And sometimes it's hard to get those volunteers on a Sunday afternoon. But they have a good crew here at Taffy Able Arena. Coming ahead with it, down the far boards is Lindahl. Lindahl puts it into the far corner and along the end boards. That's sent back to the far point. Ormstra trying to get it out. Michigan holding it in, and Miller with a save. And came off of a stick just on the inner corner of the far circle. Miller able to see it and glove it down. 12:03 left to go here in the first. That is going to be face-off in the far face-off circle. That is going to be to Miller's left. Gargiulo in to take the face-off. Sarah Lamb on the other side. That puck won by the Lakers. Heather Lamb has it, but that knocked away by Eliasson on the near circle. And coming the other right direction is Jaremko. Jaremko over center ice, brings it into the Michigan zone. Jaremko skates back and along the inboards. Gargiulo trying to poke that puck away. Jaremko into the near corner. That swung all the way around the boards. Eliasson chasing it as Sarah Lamb trying to fire it out in front. Gargiulo posts that away. Puts it up high through the neutral zone. Chasing it into the near corner is Adams. Adams has it right back behind Miller, behind their own goal. Gets it over to Jaremko at the near point in the Lakers zone. Cross ice pass. Racing ahead is Gary. Gary, top of the near circle with a shot and a save by Poneth. 11:18 left to go here in the first period. Scoreless so far between these two teams. Face-off in the far face-off circle to Poneth's right. Again, that's Pot versus Matthews. And controlled in the far corner by Tonello. Just outside the far circle, puts that in along the end boards. Pot has it back there. Bryce trying to pull it away. Pot coming underneath the near circle. That deflects off of the near board. Pot pinned outside the near circle. Now that comes right back in along the end boards. Tonello trying to get to it. Now Levinson trying to poke it away. Coming over Ackroyd into the far corner. Ackroyd on the far circle. That pulled away by Matthews. Ackroyd trying to get a backhanded shot, but Matthews did a good job to grab that. But Pot keeps it in the zone. Pot trying to avoid pressure by Simmer. Now that slips back out into the neutral zone. Back over in along the near boards. Fired in by Adams. And grabbed by Levinson, who goes over on blue line down the near boards of the neutral zone. Levinson gains the zone. Top of the far circle. Levinson puts it in along the end boards. And gathered up by Heather Lamb outside the near circle of her own zone. Back to the near point. That slips into the neutral zone. Then brought right back in. Oates fires it from her own blue line, deep into the Michigan zone. Izzy German has it in the far corner of her own zone. And right back behind Poneth. Gibbs has it there for the Lakers. Gibbs trying to get it out in front, but that pulled down. DeCreasy banks it off the near boards all the way back into the Lakers zone. Fired ahead by Gremmer. Rubin brings it in. Rubin, the hero of yesterday's game, who had a goal, as Evans trying to get it on the far circle. Down to her knees, sliding over, and just couldn't get that shot away. And banked off the far boards by Knapp. Here comes Kolwich over center ice. Kolwich gains the zone, top of in the high slot. Now Kolwich puts it outside the near circle as Michigan gets a line change. Kolwich into the near corner. That slips into the far corner. Gathered up by Tricia Smith. Intercepted by DeCreasy on the far circle. And she shoots and scores! What a great job by DeCreasy to see that puck and make the interception. And then sniper it shot right back behind Miller. Michigan goal, that at 9:16 by DeCreasy. I believe that will be unassisted. That is her second goal of the season. She had her first goal at Michigan State. So the grad student making her presence felt. Maize and Blue definitely appreciate her. All these wonderful players coming in. Izzy German has it in along the near boards. It's a nice mix. So Gargiulo gets the assist for Michigan as that puck in along the far boards. As I was saying, it's a nice mix of new players, freshmen coming in, and wonderful experienced players. That back behind Miller comes outside the far circle, moving it ahead. Tonello gets it over. Coming down is Ackroyd. Ackroyd outside the near circle. That goes in along the end boards. Matthews picks it up there for Michigan. Matthews knocks it off the end board. Stimmer trying to fire it ahead for Swanson. As there's a pile up right at the far point at the Michigan zone, but Matthews comes away with it on the far circle. Matthews with a backhanded shot. Miller with the save. The puck covered up by Miller. 8:24 left to go here in the first. 1-0 Michigan with the lead as they get on the board first. It was a single goal yesterday that ended up holding up. Michigan would like to get a little bit more comfort here. Malashevsky taking the face-off versus Gibbs. As that in the high slot. Shot. Miller puts it over into the far corner. That was Goldman with a good shot. Now that slips all the way outside the near circle. And puck back into the neutral zone, bringing it ahead as Oaks puts it into the Michigan zone. And right back to the near point. Adams with a shot and glove down by Poneth. 7:58 left to go here at Taffy Abel Arena. In the first period, Michigan up 1-0. Face-off will be to Poneth's left in the near face-off circle. Rubin in to take the face-off for Michigan. Sarah Lamb on the other side. Quick shot off of the face-off. That pulled into the near corner. Is trying to feed it ahead. And puck loose. Gary has it outside the near circle. Gets it back to Adams. Adams over to Heather. Lamb with a shot from the top of the far circle. Good bad save by Poneth. And loose on the near circle. Back to the near point to Adams. Now Heather Lamb on the far circle with a shot that just goes wide. Jaremko has it, pulling it through the slot. Now Levinson feeds it, but couldn't get it out as Jaremko puts it back deep into the Michigan zone. Sarah Lamb feeds it around the boards, trying to get to it. That loose, and Poneth has it, and trying to cover it up there. Pushing and shoving, but Poneth gets it covered up right in front of the crease. Good opportunity for the Lakers. Levinson was right down there, able to just get that back over to Poneth, where Poneth could cover it up. Big play there. 7:16 left to go here in the first period. 1-0 Michigan with the lead, but a good opportunity for the Lakers. And that last possession, that goes just wide outside the near circle. Gary with it there. Kolwich trying to pull that away. Gargiulo digging against the boards as well. Gargiulo comes down the near boards. That popped into the neutral zone. Trying to get to it. Here comes DeCreasy, who had the first goal. DeCreasy, ridden off the puck. As that comes outside the near circle. She tried to stop the firing. Wouldn't settle down, wouldn't get over there as Izzy German with a shot from the far point. That puck outside the near circle. Back to Kolwich at the near point. Kolwich feeds it into the near corner. Chasing it Eliason in along the end boards. Trying to get it to DeCreasy on the near point or at the near circle. That all the way back outside the far circle. Here comes the Lakers as they deflect it back into the far corner of the Michigan zone. Jaremko, ever dangerous there. Kolwich pulls it around the boards, picked up by Pott outside the near circle. Pott inside the Michigan zone, battling with Matthews. That comes back into the near corner. Grabbing it to Nello. Outside in the far circle, Izzy German has her there. And on the far circle, knocked back into the far corner. Good job by Kolwich. Again, another centering attempt that Kolwich knocks away. Top of the near circle, Bremer with a shot. Kolwich fires it all the way. Here comes Michigan down the far boards. Racing ahead with it, Simmer. Simmer outside the far circle. That poke checked away from her. And Ackroyd gets it back into the neutral zone. Michigan in along the far boards, racing over to get it. And picked up back behind by Katie German. Goes back behind her own goal, now bringing it down the far side of the ice. Katie German over center ice, gains the zone. Katie German on the far circle, puts it, trying to get a backhand right in front, but that was steered back behind the goal. Swanson hands it in along the end boards, now racing over to get it is Rubin. Rubin has it in the far corner. Excuse me, that was Simmer out in front and a shot from the near circle. That by Swanson. Able to cover it up is Miller. 5:20 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Michigan with the lead. Trying to get a big away sweep over Lake Superior State. Never easy to win these road games. Lake Superior, despite the fact that they're new to Division I, had much success. There's a shot by Evans. Blocked out in front. Had a lot of success in Division II. These are some good players. There's a shot top of the near circle that just goes wide by Miller. Driven wide. Katie German took the shot. Now outside the far circle. That held in by forehand. Knocked away. Here comes a 2-on-1 racing down. Gary has it outside the far circle. Shot! Poneth with the save. Good defensive play by Katie German there as well. Into the near corner. Gary trying to get to it. Poke it away is Katie German. Rubin comes over to try and help in along the end boards. Rubin comes away with it from the near side to the far side. Rubin feeds it ahead into the neutral zone, but fired right back in by the Lakers. Katie German has it, putting it ahead over to Evans. Evans gains the zone, top of the far circle with the shot. Miller with the save. 4:24 left to go here in the first. As we are on the campus of Lake Superior State University. Michigan has the 1-0 lead here in the first. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to Miller's left. As it is Pot versus Gargiulo. That puck back into the neutral zone. Bryce trying to fire right back in. Michigan able to touch up, but that puck comes back into the Michigan zone. Levinson has it. She rims it all the way around the boards. Held in at the near point by Adams. Outside into the near corner. Adams has it back. Now here comes DeCreasy into the neutral zone. Poked away from her, but Eliasson brings it into the Lakers' end. Eliasson trying to get it over to Gargiulo with a shot from the far circle. Brought back, trying to get it out in front. The puck still loose back behind. Now Pot has it. Gargiulo trying to pull the puck away from her. Adams trying to poke at it. Adams gets it free, goes right back behind her own goal. Fires it in along the far boards. That held in. Good job by Simmer getting it over to Swanson. Back to Simmer on the slot that goes just wide. Puck trying to pull it away into the near corner it goes. Levinson trying to hold it in. She has it over onto the far circle. Fired all the way down the ice. Bryce has it over to Levinson in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Intercepted. Here comes Ackroyd for the Lakers. Ackroyd with a high shot. Goes into the far corner. Ackroyd trying to get it out in front again. That comes in out into the neutral zone. The Lakers will have to touch up. Levinson picks it up back behind her own goal. 3 minutes left to go here in the first. Michigan up 1-0. Book moves it over to Bremer in along the near boards. Now that's sent into the Michigan zone as Oakes with a shot in the glove. Save by Poneth. 2:49 left to go here in the first. 1-0. Michigan with the lead. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That to Poneth's left. Gibbs in to take the face-off. Malashevsky for Michigan with a shot. That by Knapp. That went just wide. Michigan trying to get it into the neutral zone. Racing ahead down the near boards. Trying to get to it is Goldman. Pile up at the near point. Now that puck outside the near circle and along the boards. Still battling. Now that goes in along the end boards. Picked up back there by Hornstrom. Hornstrom sends it into the neutral zone. Izzy German has it along the far boards. Trying to get it over along the near boards. That puck loose. Here comes Goldman. Now that pulled away by Tricia Smith. She knocks it off the far boards into the Michigan zone. Malashevsky, now here comes Christensen with it. Christensen has it poked away, that brought back by the Lakers defense. Trisha Smith fires it down the near boards. Grabbed by Kolwich, trying to get it ahead to Evans. Here comes Evans with a cross ice pass. That knocked down. Trying to bring it back. Oakes had it. Now Trisha Smith into the near corner. Evans trying to pull that away from a pair of Lakers. Sarah Lamb sends it outside the far circle. Now that brought right back in by Simmer. Puck coming ahead. Sarah Lamb feeds it into the neutral zone. Jaremko puts it into the Michigan zone, but Kolwich fires it down the near boards the other direction. Rubin into the near corner of Lakers zone, backhanded, trying to fire it out in front. Trying to find Lindahl, but that covered up by Miller. 1 minute, 23 seconds left to go here in the first. Michigan up 1-0. We will have your ACHA scoreboard coming up at the first intermission, as well as, of course, some Michigan marching band music. Evans gets it back. Katie German with the shot out in front. Lindahl tipped it, but that goes into the far corner. Lindahl trying to get it over to Rubin. That pulled away by the Lakers. Trying to get it is Heather Lamb. Battle for it as that slips right back behind Miller into the near corner. Heather Lamb sends it in along the near boards. That brought back, Katie German retreats, has it in the neutral zone. Buckland settled down. Less than a minute left. Covered up by Ponith as Aykroyd was bearing down, as well as Devora. Ponith able to cover it up. 55.9 seconds left to go here in the first. Michigan with a goal by DeCreasy at 9:16 has the 1-0 lead. Gargiulo on the assist. Levinson in the near corner of her own zone, backhands it away, and Eliasson has it outside the far circle. Gets it ahead. DeCreasy had it, wouldn't settle down on her stick, and offsides the call as DeCreasy lost an edge and slipped over. I thought she still had to skate on the blue line, but the official much better view than I have. So 2 officials and a single linesman for today's contest, as puck in along the far boards, chasing it, Bryce, but that pulled in, coming ahead, Heather Lamb with a shot and a pad saved by Ponith. And Ponith able to cover it up as that came to the side of the net, the far side of the net. 34.1 seconds left to go here in the first. It was a hard-fought defensive contest yesterday with a single goal carrying the day, and that was very, very late in the second. Michigan would love to get a little more breathing room here. Pulled away, coming ahead with it. Coming down is Simmer. Simmer trying to get it over to Swanson. Simmer into the far corner with it in the Lakers zone. Simmer, that deflects back to the far point. Izzy German sends it back deep. Underneath the far circle, Bremer trying to get it out. That over to Swanson. Tipped away back into the neutral zone. Kolwich retreats into her own zone. Gets it over to Izzy German now in along the far boards. Kolwich ahead to Simmer. And that will do it for the first. At the end of one period, it is Michigan 1, Lake Superior State University 0.
13, Michigan 11.
Shots on goal, 13 for the Lakers in the first, Michigan with 11. But the most important stat, Michigan with the 1-goal lead, as that was at 19-16. DeCreasy with her second goal of the season, that from Gargiulo. Well, let's play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band, and we'll be back with your ACHA scoreboard reports. Here's the ACHA scoreboard, taking a look at scores from yesterday. Unofficial final, it was Colorado State University beating Grand Valley State University by a score of 5-4. That over at Griff's Georgetown. Over in Bozeman, Montana, no score reported between the Air Force Academy and Montana State University. It was a final, Penn State University beating University of Michigan Dearborn 3-2. That over at Pagula Ice Arena. University of Colorado shut out University of Utah 3-0. No score reported in the Davenport Miami University game, that over in Oxford. Indiana Tech doubled up Lindenwood University 6-3. At Mullins Center over in Amherst, it was Liberty beating University of Massachusetts Amherst by a score of 5-0. Maryville University doubled up Minot State University 2-1. And of course, it was University of Michigan beating Lake Superior State 1-0. Taking a look at game action coming up today, all later starts than our game. Two other games happening today at 3 p.m. Colorado State University visits Grand Valley State University for the second of two over at Griff's Georgetown. And Maryville University visits the University of Jamestown, that in North Dakota. That is a 3 p.m. Central Time tip-off. Let us hear a little bit more from the Michigan Marching Band. Well, with Pontiff between the pipes, it is always appropriate to play a little bit of Temptation. end of the first intermission here at Taffy Able Arena. It is Michigan up 1-0 as both teams back on the ice. As you have the nets put back on their mooring. Michigan will be going from left to right here in the second period. As we have some good Michigan fans across the way, taking photos of the team and cheering the team on. We appreciate everyone who made the trip. Thank you to you for watching wherever you are at and supporting this team. Strangely, all the Laker fans kind of moved to the left. They're no longer in front of me like they were yesterday. Don't know why, but decided that maybe they didn't want to hear me a little bit. That's fine. I get that. 20 minutes up on the clock as we are getting ready to go. Pot in to take the face-off. On the other side, Gargiulo for Michigan. Pull back, tipped away to the Michigan blue line. Levinson feeds it. Grabbed and rocketed the other direction by Heather Lamb. Now Heather Lamb grabs it, top of the near circle. Feeds it over to Adams. That grab by Gargiulo. Now Adams fires it all the way down into the Michigan zone. Bryce goes into the far corner. That pulled away. Trying to get it into the near corner. Tonello back to the point. That fired by Heather Lamb. Back behind. Tonello into the far corner. Trying to switch directions. That outside the far circle, held in at the far point, knocked away. Good job by DeCrazy coming in, and a shot that just goes wide. As Heather Lamb shot from the top of the near circle, that pulled away by DeCrazy. DeCrazy feeds it in along the far boards, that out into the neutral zone. DeCrazy fires it ahead, trying to get it to Eliason. Heather Lamb has it, top of the near circle, puts it into the neutral zone. Fire deep by Tonello before she goes off for a line change. Bryce has it in the far corner of her own zone. She feeds it into the neutral zone. Here comes Michigan in along the near boards as that's brought in, now sent into the near corner by Matthews. And outside the near circle, Matthews trying to grab it off the boards from Gary. Coming in, Levinson puts it on the near circle. Now that brought back into the neutral zone. Levinson drifts back to her own blue line, puts it in along the near boards, trying to get to Simmer. As there is going to be a tripping call to Michigan. We have our first penalty kill of the game. As going for the puck and just accidentally got a skate was Matthews for tripping. That at 18:31. Well, it's been a pretty clean game up until now. Lots of penalties yesterday. A lot less so far, but of course that can change. Pot in to take the face-off versus Rubin. And in the far face-off circle, Deponent's left. Attacker for the next 2 minutes. That puck back to the far point. Hornstra trying to hold it in. Rubin gets it out. Brought back in. Evans trying to get it off of the near wall. Evans fires it all the way down and cleared back into the Lakers zone. Just on the near side of the goal. Pot has it there. Pot feeds the head, trying to get it to Tricia Smith. Fired right back in by Rubin. Now Pot moves it over and along the near boards for Hornstra. Hornstra brings it over the neutral zone. Hornstra fires it deep in along the end boards. Izzy German grabs it there underneath the far circle. Izzy German launches it and clears it all the way down the ice. 1 minute, 20 seconds left to go in the power play for the Lakers. Heather Lamb in the near corner of her own zone, bringing it up the near boards. Into the neutral zone, intercepted by Izzy German. She gets it right back into the Lakers zone, but here comes Heather Lamb into the Michigan zone. On the far circle, trying to get through the slot, that back and along the end boards. Colwich puts it into the far corner. Trying to grab it over there was DeCrazy. That's sticked back behind by Ponith. Into the near corner it goes. There is Sarah Lamb with a shot, and that saved by Ponith. 47 seconds left to go in the power play for the Lakers. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. 17-18 left to go here in the second game of 2 for this weekend here at Lake Superior State. Michigan with the 1-0 win yesterday, trying to complete the sweep. Lakers want to get their first win of the season as they are 0-3. And back, fired the other direction, pulling it up. Feeding it in was Ackroyd. Now Swanson chases it into the far corner. 27 seconds left on the Laker power play. Katie German pulls it away on the near circle of her own zone, firing it back into the neutral zone. Hornstra Over to Adams along the far boards of the neutral zone. As the Lakers had it, now that pulled away. Good job by Michigan to bring it down. That brought ahead by Swanson. Now here comes Simmer with a shot that just goes high to the far side. Swanson outside the far circle trying to hold it in. Michigan is back to full strength as they were able to kill off the penalty. 16:25 left to go here in the second. Forehand has it in along the end boards as she takes some contact there from Knapp. Here comes Michigan racing down the boards, bringing it outside the far circle. Was a shot by Matthews that goes wide. Rims around to the near point. Forehand puts it onto the near circle. That grab by Oakes. Oakes fires it into the Michigan zone. They'll say that was tipped. Icing waved off as Levinson goes in along the end boards. Levinson trying to avoid pressure by Oakes. Oakes comes away. Good poke check by Ponith to knock that all the way back in along the near boards. That fed deep into the Lakers zone, into the near corner. Christensen chases it. Trisha Smith puts it into the near corner. Now that grab by Oakes. Oakes and Christensen doing battle in along the near boards. Poked away by Goldman. Trying to pull it off of those boards is Matthews. Malashevsky has it. That back to the near point. Shot by Levinson into the far corner. Goldman has it outside the far circle. Backhanded shot, dipped out in front. Malashevsky with a shot that just goes wide. What a save by Miller. Malashevsky still doing battle outside the near circle. Held in by Levinson. That puck goes right back behind Miller. As losing an edge was Levinson. That comes all the way back into the neutral zone. That was Goldman. All the way back, Michigan has it in along the far boards. Bryce, puck wouldn't settle down. That pulled in, coming over. Puck wouldn't settle down for Tonello either. Into the far corner it goes. Tonello has it in along the end boards, back behind Conniff. And comes underneath the far circle, rocketed out from the slot that all the way back into the Lakers zone, into the near corner. Book has it there, going back behind her own goal. Book underneath the near circle, trying to get it out of the zone. Rubin puts it back to the Michigan defense. Bringing it ahead was Levinson. And on the near circle, sent the other direction back into the neutral zone by Book. Jaremko gets it ahead to Aykroyd. Loose at the near point in the Michigan zone. Bott has it outside the near circle. Now that brought ahead. Here comes Michigan as Lindahl trying to get past Book. Book able to tip it away and send it right back into the Michigan zone. Izzy German picks it up, goes back behind her own goal. Now coming down the far boards, Izzy German ahead to Rubin. Rubin along the far boards of the neutral zone. That grab by Book, who drives it wide in along the end boards. Lindahl trying to knock that away in the far corner of the Lakers zone. That into the near corner now. Jaremko trying to pull that ahead. Kolwich trying to knock it down. Jaremko through the neutral zone. Gets it ahead to Knapp, but that now sent ahead. Here comes Eliasson for Michigan. Top of the near circle with the shot. That blocked off of Book and covered up by Miller. Evans slow to get up in the slot. She looks like she's all right. 13:29 left to go here in the second. Again, big defensive battle between these two teams with excellent goaltenders. 1-0, Michigan with the lead. Gargiulo wins it back to the far point. That shot goes wide outside the near circle. Forehand with it there. Forehand trying to get it back to the near point. Now that loose in the slot, bringing it ahead. Heather Lamb intercepted and fired right, trying to fire right back in was Katie German, ended up in the Michigan bench. Your Michigan coaching staff, by the way, head coach Jenna Triviano, assistant coaches Nick Lisson and Carrie Inman, and Joe Upton. Grab those Lake Superior State coaches in just a little bit as Heather Lamb feeds it ahead and sent in by Oakes, knocked off by Ponith. Now Katie German trying to get it the other direction. Held in by Adams at the blue line. Now coming down the near boards. Here comes Michigan pulling it in to Creasy, who has the lone go. Give and go! And a good job to knock it away by Adams. Otherwise, it would have been a gorgeous opportunity for DeCreasy. Here comes Gary into the Michigan zone, outside of the near circle. Gary sends it back. Trying to get it back to Jaremko at the near point, but that out of play. 12:38 left to go here in the first. Michigan up 1-0. Both teams get a line change. Face-off will be DePonent's right in the near face-off circle. As that went out of play in the zone into the Lakers bench. And pulled back, top of the near circle. As back over to Adams in the high slot. Top of the far circle with a shot that knocked away. As Michigan forehand is in the box. Michigan on the penalty kill again. I believe that was a illegal roughing. As coming ahead with it, Michigan able to clear it down. Gathering it back behind. Heather Lamb has it. Heather Lamb now underneath the near circle of her own zone, trying to get it to Jaremko. Bringing it ahead is Pot. Pot gains the Michigan zone outside the near circle. Stops there. Seeds it back to the near point. Now shot from the slot. Blocker save by Poneth. That comes back to the near point. Add to Adams. Adams puts it back into the high slot for Heather Lamb. Now underneath, Pot has it in along the end boards. Into the far corner it goes. Michigan trying to pull it away outside the far circle. That fired ahead by Levinson. Adams has it back at her own blue line. Gets it ahead to Heather Lamb. That shot from the near point goes into the far corner. Levinson blasted all the way down the ice as there's 45 seconds left in the Michigan penalty kill. Outside the near circle is Jaremko. Matthews trying to get it, holding it into the Lakers zone. Matthews in the near corner of the Lakers zone. And have it now. Jaremko comes away with it right back behind Miller. Jaremko feeds it ahead. Here comes Hornstra. Hornstra down the near boards. 23 seconds left to go in the Laker power play. Hornstra goes right back behind Poneth into the far corner. Hornstra trying to get a centering attempt. That knocked down. Swanson has it pinned against the boards. Jaremko comes in to try and pull it off the boards as well. A quartet of players poking, digging, levering back to, and that slips past the near point all the way back into the Lakers zone. That will do it for the Laker power play. Michigan back to full strength. Malashevsky chases that puck back deep in the Lakers zone. Aykroyd underneath the near circle of her own zone, feeds it ahead. 10:25 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. Gary on the near circle of the Michigan zone. Outside the near circle, Gary goes. Now takes a shot at a save by Poneth. 10:15 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. Face-off will be to Poneth's right in the near face-off circle. As that's fired around. Put back behind the Michigan goal. Into the far corner it goes Heather Lamb. Feeds it top of the far circle. Now that drifted back to Adams at the far point. Heather Lamb shot from the top of the near circle. That deflected behind by Rubin. Underneath the far circle it goes. Feeding it, held in at the far point by Adams. Puts it right back behind the Michigan goal. Now forehand has it ahead. Forehand puts it into the neutral zone. Here comes Evans. Evans outside the near circle in the Lakers zone. Evans trying to pull it back behind. Now Lindahl has it in the far corner. Lindahl on the far circle. She has a pair of Laker defenders knocking it away. Lindahl gets it back and along the near boards of the neutral zone. Lindahl trying to put it into the slot for Evans. Evans with a shot that just goes wide. I believe Adams got a stick on that to drive it wide. As Rubin has it in the near corner, battling with Heather Lamb. Right back behind Adams and Rubin, trying to get it now. Lindahl fires it back to the far point. Katie German moves it over on the far circle with a shot and a save. Oh, that just slips to the near side. Somehow it got back underneath Miller and came slowly through just above the goal line, through the crease. That all the way back into the near corner of the Michigan zone. 8:53 left to go here in the second. Oh, I know a bunch of big wide eyes on the Michigan team just couldn't quite get to that loose puck. Outside the near circle it goes. Pot has it. Now drifts into the neutral zone. Evans trying to bring it ahead. Backhands it deep into the Lakers' end. Tricia Smith hits it in along the end boards of her own zone. Now that knocked underneath the near circle. Gathered in by Pot. Pot brings it ahead. Pot knocks it off the near boards all the way back. Levinson has it back behind the Michigan goal. Now bringing it ahead. Eliason trying to get it. That right back into the Michigan zone. Bryce goes back behind her own goal from the near side to the far side. Rims it around the boards, over to DeCreasy. DeCreasy gets it over that, poked away from Michigan, brought right back into the zone by the Lakers. Now DeCreasy trying to get it in along the far boards as she battles Tonello. Trying to get the puck over to Elias, and that loose coming the other direction is Hornstra. Hornstra for the Lakers, top of the near circle. Hornstra underneath the near circle. Shot Poneth with the save. All the way back in along the near boards, back into the Lakers zone. 7:40 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. As that, I believe, missed Gary. That should be icing, and it is. And we'll go right back into the Lakers zone. 1-0 Michigan at 7:32 here in the second. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Matthews in to take the face-off. Sarah Lamb on the other side for the Lakers. That puck loose on the far circle, trying to get to it is Simmer. Simmer moves it back to the far point. Holwich sends it deep right back behind Miller into the near corner. Hornstra has it there, puts it in along the near boards as Izzy German puts it right back behind the goal. Simmer has it there, back behind the Laker goal. Outside the far circle, shot there, just goes wide. Pulled back over, trying to fire it out in front. Matthews with the backhanded shot and a save by Miller. Hornstra gets it back into the neutral zone. Holwich has it in along the far boards, fires it right back in, deep in along the end boards of the Lakers zone, but that will be icing as she was on the other side of the red line. 6:57 left to go. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. One goal carried the day yesterday, but boy, Michigan would like to get a little bit more than that just to feel a little safer, more secure. Maybe that's just me. But that puck outside the far circle. Pull back to the far point. Heather Lamb trying to get it. Michigan back into the neutral zone. Turning the other direction is Gibbs on the near circle to Michigan zone as Izzy German drives her wide, loose, and fired. Poneth covering it up. Oh, that puck grabbed as Adams spun with it, fired it deep. Gibbs right on the crease trying to knock it away. Poneth, super steady as always, able to cover that up. Poneth amazing in the crease. As that puck brought back by forehand outside the near circle of the Michigan zone. That put up high in the air through the neutral zone. Trying to bring it ahead. Here comes Malashevsky into the near corner. Malashevsky back behind the goal. Malashevsky back into the near corner, trying to cycle that over to Christensen. Christensen goes into the far corner. Heather Lamb right on top of her. That moved back behind by Adams as she cleared that out of the crease. Here comes Oakes the other direction. Oakes gets it ahead to Gibbs. Gibbs gains the Michigan zone, top of the far circle. Driven wide. Good job by Katie German and pulled right back out into the neutral zone by Michigan. And pulled back around as Goldman trying to get to it. And brought in. Tonello has it. That was a block by forehand. Forehand puts it into the near corner. Knapp trying to get it, but that pulled away. Here comes Michigan. That held it at the near point. Walked into the near corner by Poneth as Tonello trying to get it out in front. Malashevsky knocking it in along the near boards. Now Christensen trying to get it into the neutral zone. It's there. Now Heather Lamb has to reset. And pulled ahead. Here comes Michigan gaining the zone. Shot by Evans goes just wide. That outside the near circle. That held in. Good job by Evans. There's a blast that got blocked into the far corner. Aykroyd backhands it outside the far circle, but Evans moves it back to Izzy German at the far point. That shot into the near corner. Heather Lamb fires it all the way back. That should be icing, and it is. 5:04 left to go here in the second. Michigan trying to get their second win in a row. Sweep the weekend series. Lakers trying to get their first win. They have had some tough games versus Indiana Tech and then game versus Michigan yesterday. They're 0-3 on the season. Trying to get to it. Evans loose and pulled away and fired ahead. Here comes Tonello. Tonello has it. Top of the far circle. Shot and Poneth with the save. Poneth grabbed it and it popped up in the air almost off of the tip of the glove, and Poneth able to grab it out of midair. Freeze it down. 1:50 left to go in the second. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. Face-off. DePonitz left in the far face-off circle. Arjulo in to take the face-off. DeCreasy, Levinson, and Eliason in there for Michigan, as well as Katie German in along the far boards. Katie German feeds it ahead. Here comes DeCreasy. DeCreasy moves it in along the near boards to Eliason. Eliason outside the near circle, trying a centering pass, but that was tipped. Book moves it back to Gary. Gary coming down the far side of the ice, gets it over home blue line. Gary over center ice into the Michigan zone. And shot from the inner edge of the far circle, knocked away by Poneth. Picked up by Levinson, back behind her own goal as she feeds it all the way around the boards, but held in at the far point by Gremmer. Back to Gremmer at the far point. Shot that was blocked by DeCreasy. DeCreasy gets it back out into the neutral zone. Book knocks it off the far boards, trying to get it right back into the Michigan zone. Jaremko chases it into the far corner. Jaremko out in front. Again, another pad save by Poneth. Picked up coming down the near boards, his forehand. And loose. Now fed through the neutral zone. Here comes Michigan with it. Eliason trying to bring it ahead. Right back into the Michigan zone, but now down and along the near boards. Here comes Michigan as Levinson, top of the far circle. She takes a shot that just goes wide. Eliason chases it into the near corner, trying to get it away from Gary. Gary underneath the near circle of her own zone, feeds it ahead. And grab, here comes Sarah Lamb. Sarah Lamb has it at the near point. Now that drifts. Izzy German has it. Izzy German sends it down the far boards. And gathered in. Loose and knocked the other direction by the Lakers. Picked up by Oakes in the neutral zone. That went right off of a Michigan skate. Matthews trying to get to it as Gibbs trying to get it into the Michigan zone. Again, a battle right in front of the Lakers bench as they are digging and working and trying to get leverage and still trying to get it off of that boards. Back over, here comes Izzy German. Izzy German puts it in along the far boards. Michigan bringing it ahead. That fed all the way back into the Lakers zone. That goes just to the near side of Miller. That puck back outside the far circle, trying to get to it is Goldman. Goldman grab it. Matthews trying to get to it, but that back into the neutral zone. 2:33 left to go here in the second. Michigan up 1-0 as Kolwich feeds it in along the far boards. Malashevsky now heads over her own blue line. Malashevsky over center ice, gains the zone. Malashevsky on the far circle. Malashevsky trying to backhand it back out to Goldman. Back to Malashevsky in the far corner. Malashevsky ridden off the puck, but gets it back. Puts it over to Christensen, and that pass knocked away. Good job by Aykroyd to stop a beautiful pass out to the top of the far circle. Which sends it the other direction. Picked up by Evans. Evans has it poked away. Evans trying to get it back right at her own blue line. Evans protects it with her body. Now heads over. Evans with a shot from the top of the far circle, knocked away by Hornstra. Hornstra feeds it to the blue line. Kolwich with a shot! And Miller had a rebound out in front, but that knocked away in along the near boards by Pott. Now Tonello feeds it to Pott. Pott gets it over and along the far boards to Aykroyd. Aykroyd puts it all the way down. Into the far corner it goes. Izzy German with it there. Moves it over to Lindahl outside the near circle. 1 minute, 25 seconds left to go here in the second. I appreciate you pausing your Lions watching if you're inclined to do that. I know they're starting right now, but we have 1 minute, 13 seconds left and a whole nother period. Coming in with it, here comes Sarah Lamb with a shot, and again Bonnet with the save. That comes off to the near side. Michigan gets it right to the blue line, but that held in by Heatherland with the shot. And again knocked away by Bonnet. Izzy German trying to get it out of the zone. Held in at the far point. Evans was trying to knock it out. That comes right back. 50 seconds left to go here in the second. Michigan up 1-0. As that puck, Gary trying to feed it over. Now Rubin has it. Banks it off the far boards. Held in by Adams. She sends it in along the near boards. 36 seconds left to go here in the second. Kolwich chases it in along the far boards, trying to get it away from Sarah Lamb. That puck loose. Kolwich now into the far corner. 25 seconds left to go in the second. Rubin chases it in along the far boards in the far corner. And pulled away. The Lakers have it, but a whistle. As Jaremko goes into the box, That will be a Laker penalty with 15.6 seconds left. As Jaremko, I believe that was holding. As Jaremko talking to the official in the penalty box, getting an explanation. And now we're set. Face off. To Miller's right in the far face-off circle. Gargiulo gonna pull that away from Gibbs. DeCrezi has it, feeding it. There's a shot that just goes wide by Gargiulo. 5 seconds left to go. The puck outside the far circle. Michigan drop back to the far point. Katie German with the shot, and that blocked out in front. Adams got a stick on it, blocking a good Katie German shot.
Michigan with 5.
So Lake Superior State had 10 shots in that period. Michigan had 5. So that makes it 23 shots for the Lakers, 16 for the Wolverines through 2 periods. Well, let's take a moment. Let's play the victors, and then we'll come back and we'll go over your Michigan scoreboard report and talk about all the action that happened yesterday and what's happening today. You're watching Michigan Women's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. At the second intermission, Michigan 1, Lake Superior State University, nothing. Reach out to the broadcast, you can at arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. That's arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. We try and check it during the intermissions as best as we can. What a morning for sports. You had an early NFL game, and didn't see the score on that one, but I can pull that up. As that early NFL game had, where is it? There was the Giants beating the Packers 27-22. Obviously, lots of Packers fans up here in the Upper Peninsula. Saw them around where we got dinner last night. They will be sad about that. Lots of NFL action happening. Some Premier League action as Arsenal up 3-2 on a Saka goal versus Liverpool. So that a fantastic contest. And of course here you have an amazing game between Michigan and Lake Superior State. Fantastic ACHA Division I women's hockey for you. As in the second period, it was a Michigan penalty at 8:31. It was Matthews going in for tripping. Then Michigan took a penalty at around the 12-minute mark as it was interference by forehand. Now Michigan is on the power play currently as that 15.6 It was Jaremko going off for holding. Michigan will have 1 minute 45 seconds on the power play when they start off the third. But 1-0 here. That on a DeCreasy goal at 9:16 in the first, assisted by Gargiulo. Let's take a look at your Michigan scoreboard report. Lots of action yesterday as women's tennis at the All-American Championships ITA. That's a non-scoring event. Men's swimming and diving was at the SMU Classic. They came in fourth out of 6. Women's swimming and diving at the SMU Classic. They came in second out of 6. Football played at Indiana, and it was 10-10 at the halftime, and I was sweating bullets on the drive up to the Sioux, but Michigan able to pull away with 21 unanswered points in the second to win that one 31-10. Greatly appreciate Doug Karsh and John Jansen keeping us all up to date as we traveled on 75 to get up here. In women's swimming and diving at University of Oakland, it was a Michigan win, 160-97. Men's swimming and diving at Oakland University, they had the win 169-107. In volleyball versus Nebraska, that at home, Nebraska swept the sets 0-3 as it was 14-25 in the first, 24-26 in the second, and 19-25 in the second. Michigan swept the series versus new NCAA team Lindenwood as they came up from the ACHA, making a NCAA team. Michigan men's hockey won that one 3-1. Action happening today. Again, women's tennis is at the ITA All-American Championships in Cary, North Carolina. That a non-scoring event but started at 11 o'clock. And women's soccer, they kicked off at noon in a big game at Michigan State. And let's see if we can get any stats on that. If I click on the live stats, as it's opening that up. You see Michigan State men's soccer able to win the Big Bear as Michigan fell to Michigan State over at East Lansing. Right now it's Michigan State 1, Michigan nothing in the second, counting down as it says the time is, or maybe that's counting up at 50-58, as it was a free kick awarded. Goal shot was by, I don't see it. Anyway, does not matter, but State up on that one. Michigan trying to come back. That is your Michigan scoreboard report. Let's take a look around NCAA hockey from this weekend and get a few scores from men's hockey to complement our ACHA scoreboard earlier in the first intermission. At the Icebreaker, Maine beat Air Force 4-1 yesterday. Notre Dame fell to Denver. Denver won that 5-2. It was Rensselaer Polytechnic beating Macyhurst 6-3. St. Louis beat Merrimack 3-1. It was a final in overtime. University of New Hampshire beating Clarkston 4-3. Northern Michigan beat Colgate by a score of 3-2. Sacred Heart fell to Providence. Providence winning that one 6-1. It was Quinnipiac shutting out Boston College 4-0. Connecticut beat Union by a score of 4-1. It was Michigan beating Lindenwood. We know that one 7-4 on Friday night. We know they won 3-1 on Saturday. Penn State beat Canisius 5-2. It was Ferris doubling up Michigan Tech 2-1. Miami University beat UMass Lowell 3-1. It was Minnesota beating Minnesota State 4-1. Arizona State blanked Bemidji State. That's interesting, 3-0. It was Alaska Fairbanks doubling up St. Thomas 4-2. Niagara beat University of Nebraska Omaha 4-3. It was North Dakota blanking Holy Cross 6-0, and Colorado College beating Alaska Anchorage 6-2. In Atlantic hockey, RIT beat Army 3-2. In the Big Ten, Ohio State beat Wisconsin 3-1. And in Hockey East, Northeastern beat Vermont by a score of 5-2. Now, scores from yesterday. Denver beat Maine in the Icebreaker 3-1, and it was Notre Dame tying Air Force in overtime, final in overtime 5-5. Non-conference action in men's NCAA. It was Northern Michigan beating Colgate 4-1. Final in overtime as Connecticut beats Union 4-3. Long Island put it on Stonehill 7-1 as it was Penn State beating Canisius to sweep the series 7-5. UMass Lowell doubled up Miami in a bounce-back win 4-2. In overtime final, Rensselaer Polytechnic beat Mercyhurst 3-2. It was University of New Hampshire beating St. Lawrence 4-1. Final Merrimack 3-2 over Clarkston. It ended in a 2-2 final between Massachusetts and AIC. It was Bemidji beating Arizona State in overtime 5-4 to get the bounce-back win. Another final in overtime as St. Thomas beat Alaska Fairbanks 3-2. Michigan State doubled up Bowling Green by a score of 2-1. It was Minnesota State bouncing back with a win, splitting the series with Minnesota 3-2. Western Michigan beat Ferris by 2 goals by a score of 6-4. It was North Dakota beating Holy Cross 4-1. Colorado College beating Alaska Anchorage 4-1. Niagara with a 1-goal win over Nebraska Omaha 4-3. In Atlantic hockey, RIT swept the series from Army 4-1. It was Ohio State sweeping Wisconsin 4-3. And in Hockey East, Northeastern beat Vermont 5-0. In exhibition, it was Boston University beating Waterloo 7-1, and there was only one game in the NCAA Division I men's hockey today. That's a ECAC matchup between Quinnipiac and Long Island at 2 o'clock. Well, let's play a little bit more of the Michigan Marching Band. Again, reach out to us if you want to at arborbroadcasting.com. This game is not only broadcast on video, we also have a audio stream for that. So if you need to hop on the road to drive somewhere, you're coming back from something, or you just want to keep a football game on the screen and listen to us, you can certainly pull that up. It's right underneath the video on the Michigan Women's Hockey page on arborbroadcasting.com. Let's hear a little bit more because it is the second period, so it's time for I Can't Turn You Loose.
Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to the Michigan Amphitheater. You know, so much of the music we hear today is this pre-programmed electronic disco. You never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft. By the year 2006, the music now known as the blues will exist only in the classical record department of your local public library. And so, this afternoon, while we still can, let us welcome from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Gary Lewis and his blues band. Gary Lewis and his blues band.
thing that's similar here as to Munn is there's a doggy running around across the way, a little German Shepherd right above where Michigan is coming out of the tunnel, hanging out, leaping around, and now just wagging its tail over there. And I love you folks, but all I want to do is go and play with the doggy, but that's just me. Talking about the head coach, we give your coaches for Michigan. Head coach for Lake Superior State, the D1 team, is Matt Parker. I don't have listed the assistant coaches. Waiting for the officials to come in as it's counting down to 22 and counting. Both teams poised to hop on the ice. Here comes the officials from their locker room across the way, and now everyone will hop out onto the ice. Michigan will be on the power play for 1 minute 45 seconds to start off the third. They have the 1-0 lead. Same score they won by yesterday, but Michigan would love to get an extra goal, feel a little bit more comfortable, although you always hear 2-goal lead is the most dangerous in hockey. I'd rather have that than a 1-goal lead at this moment. Just to get a little comfort. Lake Superior State obviously looking for the equalizer, looking for their first win of the season. Michigan trying to get 2 wins in a row after a big draw versus Michigan State, then a hard-fought game, but a 3-1 loss at Arrington. Well, that's as close as I have seen that score since we've been broadcasting Michigan women's hockey. Again, coming up for Michigan women's hockey, it will be University of Utah coming into Yost Ice Arena on October 13th. We should have that game for you at 8 p.m. at Yost Ice Arena. Then on Friday the 21st, it's Indiana Tech coming into Yost Ice Arena. That is a 8 p.m. game as well. Then Michigan goes on the road at Indiana Tech. That will be on October 22nd. 3:30 game. Again, that's not going to be a bad drive over to Fort Wayne, so we should be able to cover that one unless something else happens. Big shout out to my camera person who travels with me, my amazing wife Christina Wiseman, working injured as well with the labrum tear, helping out. They're in to take the face off as Swanson trying to pull it away. Here comes Michigan as Lindahl has it outside the far circle. Lindahl into the far corner. Michigan going from right to left here in this third period. Evans has it outside the near circle. Gets it over to Rubin. Michigan again on the power play for 1:30. That comes top of the far circle. That went off of a post. Rocket shot by Izzy German. Swanson trying to hold it in outside the far circle. Swanson. Now Lindahl comes back behind the goal in along the end boards. Backhands out to the far circle. Wouldn't settle down on Swanson's stick. And it goes all the way down the ice. Poneth holds it there. 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. 1-0 Michigan with the lead over the Lakers. That knocked away, picked up by Evans at her own blue line. She drops it back to the defense, bringing it ahead. Now that slips all the way back into the near corner. Tricia Smith with it there. Matthews steals it away. Matthews back behind the goal. Matthews underneath the far circle. Matthews outside the far circle now puts it in along the end boards. Simmer picks it up there, firing it through the slot, and then all the way back into the Michigan zone. Michigan had a player right in front of the crease, but not able to get a stick on that. Here comes Katie German. Katie German trying to get around Gibbs. Gibbs knocks her off of the puck. And Simmer pulls it into the zone. Simmer outside the far circle. That shot just goes wide as Miller got a pad on it outside the near circle. Gargiulo into the near corner with it. 12 seconds left on the Michigan power play. DeCreasy back to Gargiulo underneath the near circle. Back, trying to backhand it out in front. 4 seconds left to go on the Michigan power play. DeCreasy back over to Gargiulo. Now they switch places. Lakers back to full strength. DeCreasy into the near corner. That knocked away from Gibbs. Gargiulo battling Gibbs. DeCreasy in there as well. DeCreasy comes away with it, trying to put it in front, and that went off the back of the net. And brought back, cycled into the near corner by Gargiulo. Now that puck into the neutral zone. Racing over to get it. Katie German backhands it the other way. Here comes Simmer racing to get it on the far circle. Simmer trying to get it. Heather Lamb trying to stop that backhanded shot, and they score! Michigan puts it in Simmer makes it 2-0 on a backhanded shot, picking it up. Great feed. Simmer coming in, and the Laker defense tried to knock it away, but Simmer able to control in just out in front of the crease with a backhanded shot. Michigan makes it 2-0. That at 17:39, we'll see if there's an assist on that goal. I don't believe so, but we'll see as Malashevsky in there trying to battle away from Sarah Lamb. Unassisted by Simmer. The Lakers have it outside the far circle, spinning with it there. Gary puts it back to the far point. Heather Lamb with a shot bouncing out in front. Good save by Poneth. That comes into the far corner. Gary has it outside the far circle. Again, trying to get it out in front. At puck bouncing, top of the far circle, held in at the far point. Heather Lamb has it. Now that backhanded top of the far circle. Michigan gets it back into the neutral zone. Adams fires it right back in. Stopped by Poneth, and she covers it up as Gary was racing in trying to knock it away. 17 minutes left to go here in the third. Michigan up 2-0. As a goal by DeCreasy in the first at 9:16 got Michigan on the board first. And then here at 17:39, an unassisted goal by Simmer has Michigan up by 2 goals. Now Knapp takes it back behind the Michigan goal. Bryce sends it for a ride around the boards. Lindahl picks it up coming down the far boards, the neutral zone. Lindahl comes high slot, now backhanded. Knocked away and along the near boards by Adams. Lindahl backhands it out in front, trying to get to it was Rubin, but that fired ahead. Here comes the Lakers as Oakes brings it into the zone. Oakes with a long shot glove saved by Poneth. 16:31 left to go here in the third. And not only do we have the video broadcast, we have an audio broadcast as well. If you need to be on the road and listen to the game safely, just take a look on arborbroadcasting.com. Right underneath the video should be the latest audio broadcast. Face off in the near face off circle. Pot has that over now. Katie German brings it back behind the Michigan goal. Eliason feeds it, trying to get into the neutral zone, but that's sent back in by Ackroyd. And right over as Coach Ned has to grab that and pop that over to a linesman. Face off will be to Poneth's right in the far face off circle. That top of the far circle now moved over. Gremmer, air shot blocked by Michigan. Coming over, here comes, good save as Tonello took a shot from the near circle. Good save by Poneth all the way back out and along the near boards. Gremmer puts it outside the near circle of the Michigan zone. Katie German bringing it ahead through the slot of her own zone, feeds that and then gets it back. Katie German puts it right to the Laker blue line, but that's sent the other direction by Book. Now trying to put it in is Tonello. Michigan gathers it in. Forehand, feeds it down the ice. Michigan gains the zone. As that loose on the far circle, Simmer, who scored the last goal, going in along the end boards, picked up by Sarah Lamb. Sarah Lamb over to Jaremko. Fired right back in by Kolwich. And along the end boards, Book chases it back behind her own goal. Swanson trying to get it away from her. Right back into the neutral zone, moved over and along the near boards. Slipping back is Kolwich. He fires it ahead. Here comes Swanson through the neutral zone. That knocked away, gathered up by Gary for the Lakers, and Swanson is down. A whistle. Swanson pops up. As that face-off is going to be back into the Lakers zone. Jaremko goes back into the box on a penalty. So Laker penalty, Michigan on the power play at 15:15. I did not see the signal, so we'll try and catch that on the public address announcer. Levinson has it. Interference, the call. That puck back behind, pulling it out in front. Michigan has it. Drop pass over to DeCreasy. DeCreasy on the far circle with the shot. Trying to get her second of the game. That comes off. Back over DeCreasy. Fires. That loose. This has Lindahl picking up on the near circle. Covered up by Miller. 1 minute 37 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. Michigan up 2-0. 14:51 left to go. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. At to Miller's right. As Gargiulo wins it back to Levinson at the near point. That puck loose on the near circle. Swept down into the neutral zone by Pop. DeCrazy back to her own blue line. Feeds it ahead to Gargiulo. Gargiulo gains the zone right at the near point. Now coming over Matthews trying to grab it outside the near circle. That lifted to the blue line. Held in by DeCrazy. I might call that a hand pass, and I think they will, and that will be pulled out of the zone. As trying to bat it down, but it ended up, there, they'll say it's offsides, and it left the zone. So face-off in the near face-off circle, that outside the Lakers zone. Swanson in to take the face-off. As Pot on the other side, Rubin feeds it over to Katie German. 1 minute, 11 seconds left in the Michigan power play. Evans drops it back to Katie German. Katie German, top of that circle, knuckleball puck into the near corner. Michigan pulls it there. Now coming over is Lindahl in the slot shot. And getting a pad on it was Miller. The puck outside the near circle. As Aykroyd has it pinned. Now Lindahl chasing it. Adams sends it right back behind her own goal. That rimmed all the way back to the far point. Katie German keeps it in. That brought over by Evans. Back to Katie German outside the far circle. Out in front, Lindahl trying to tip it. And all the way back to Katie German at the far point. Katie German into the slot. Knapp able to intercept that and send that all the way down. 28 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. Michigan up 2-0. 13:35 left to go here in the third. Katie German outside the far circle moves it back to the far point to Gargiulo. Gargiulo, that shot blocked, held in by Lindahl. Katie German fires it outside the far circle. And to get it back over there is Swanson, right back behind the goal, going from the far side on the near side. 4 seconds left on the Michigan power play. Rubin has it top of the near circle. Back over to Swanson on the near circle. Lakers back to full strength. The puck into the near corner. Controlled as Gargiulo with a shot that deflects out. Katie German puts it back into the far corner. Rubin trying to get to it, but the Lakers pull it away and put it down. Ricocheted off the near boards, racing back to get it. Icing waved off. Is into the far corner. Eliasson picks it up. Eliasson makes a move, trying to avoid a trio of Lakers. And all the way back to the Laker blue line, Tricia Smith puts it in along the far boards. That fired ahead by Hornstruck. Deep into the Michigan zone, Kolwich chases it in along the end boards. Kolwich trying to pull that away from Tonello. And fired all the way back. That is going to be icing, and that will head back into the Michigan zone. 12:26 left to go here in the third period. Michigan 2, Lake Superior State nothing. Michigan looking for the weekend sweep. The Lakers trying to get on the winning ways. They're 0-3 on the season. Puck top of the near circle now coming ahead. Here comes DeCrazy. DeCrazy opened up the scoring for Michigan in the first period. DeCrazy chases it in along the end boards. She's underneath the far circle. DeCrazy outside the far circle. That poked away. Gibbs takes it back behind her own goal from the far side to the near side. That ahead to Knapp, who shovels it into the neutral zone. That slid over to Izzy German. Izzy German feeds it ahead. That knocked away, poked right back on edge into the neutral zone. Fired deep by Knapp. That comes in along the end boards, and that will be icing. Back into the Lakers zone it goes. 11:55. Sorry, forgot to bring in some ice down there. 11:55 left to go here in the third. Face-off will be to Miller's right in the near face-off circle. Malashevsky to take the face-off. Sarah Lamb on the other side. Goldman right back behind Malashevsky. Playing the near point is Kolwich. And loose, bringing it in along the near boards. Knapp sends it right back behind the Laker goal. Now Book sends it in along the far boards. Sent deep into the Michigan zone. Kolwich has it on the far circle of her own zone. Goes back behind Connick over to the near side. Kolwich trying to get ahead to Goldman. That pulled down by Jaremko. Jaremko on the near circle. Jaremko trying to get her way in. And sticked away in along the near boards by Connick. At the near point, Bremer trying to hold it in. Michigan gets it back out. Here comes Christensen over center ice. Christensen trying to avoid some pressure by the Lakers in the high slot. Christensen on the far circle with the shot. Miller with the save. Loose in the slot. trying to get to it, banging away. There was Malashevsky. She couldn't get her stick fully on that. The defense lifting that and keeping a good opportunity for Michigan off the boards. That puck lifted all the way down the ice. Levinson picks it up on the far circle of her own zone. Again, heavy pressure coming from Lake Superior State. That puck out into the neutral zone, in along the near boards. Gary picks it up at her own blue line. Gary sends it along the far boards, trying to knock it down. It was Izzy German. Rubin has it. Rubin feeds it ahead to Evans. That knocked down, brought right back in by Ackroyd into the Michigan zone. Now Rubin grabs it at her own blue line. Rubin feeds it down the far boards. Trying to come in with it is Lindahl back behind the goal underneath the near circle. Lindahl goes. Lindahl in the slot, trying to move it over to Rubin. Couldn't get a stick on it. That brought outside the far circle. Now Lindahl coming in. Backhanded shot that just goes wide. Getting a blocker on it was Miller. Outside the far circle, bringing it ahead was Tonello. Holding it in was Rubin outside the far circle and into the far corner. Here comes the Lakers over their own blue line. Tonello has it top of the far circle. Tonello into the far corner. In along the end boards, Bryce trying to poke that away. Tonello outside the near circle, sends it high slot. Now Adams has it at the near point into the far circle. Blocked by Bryce. Lindahl trying to get to it outside the far circle. Now Gargiulo ends up going down, but that puck rimmed all the way around outside the near circle. Michigan gathers it in. DeCreasy launches it across the rink, but that's sent back as Adams sends it ahead to Heather Lamb. Heather Lamb puts it in the air. That over to Knapp. Knapp has it outside the far circle. That in along the end boards. Knocked away by Gargiulo into the far corner. That brought back to the far point. Heather Lamb with a shot knocked down by DeCreasy. DeCreasy over on blue line, over center. DeCreasy gets it over to Eliason. Eliason with a shot, top of the far circle. Loose, DeCreasy poking away at it. Miller able to make a pair of saves. Here comes Knapp down the near boards, gets it into the neutral zone. Ahead to Gibbs. Gibbs pulls it into the Michigan zone, in along the end boards. Gibbs in forehand, Tangle right back behind Conniff. And sent into the far corner. Trying to bring it ahead. Matthews puts it right back behind the Michigan goal. Katie German has it there. Katie German trying to avoid pressure by Gibbs. Katie German brings it over on blue line. Little hook there. Katie German gets into the Lakers zone. Fires it. That tipped right back behind the Lakers goal. Into the far corner. Trying to feed it out in front. Was Swanson. Loose that off the side of the net. That brought all the way back. Icing call. That will be back into the Lakers zone. 8:19 left to go here in the third. 2-0 Michigan with the lead. We will be back on the air with Pioneer Women's Field Hockey tomorrow. If you want to watch a little field hockey, get your fill on the ice. You want a little bit on the turf, we will have that. Top of the far circle it goes. Evans into the near corner. Evans. Drop back pass over to Rubin. Rubin trying to fire it out in front. That gathered in. Coming the other direction is Hornstruck. Hornstruck gets it over to Dremko. Dremko with speed. Top of the far circle. Katie German trying to tip it away. Conniff saving that one. Now Katie German outside the far circle. Knocked away. Pulling it over was Sarah Lamb. Rubin knocks it away from her. Now that centering attempt goes all the way across, trying to get it to Dremko. Dremko sweeps it right back behind the Michigan goal. Forehand fires it around the boards. That puck loose. Trying to get to it. Sarah Lamb fires it outside the far circle. Rubin trying to knock it away. That pulled and Gary sends across pass trying to get it over to Dremko. Dremko couldn't get her stick on it. Now that brought back over. Coming ahead with it, Katie German intercepts, poked away from her, and Tricia Smith had it. Now that right back behind the goal in the Lakers zone. Tricia Smith traces it into the far corner. There she tangles with Christensen. Back by Sarah Lamb, now outside the far circle. Here comes Gary for the Lakers. Gary has that tipped away. Michigan with it, top of the far circle, but that poke checked all the way back into the Michigan zone. 6 minutes, 50 seconds left to go here in the third. Polwich has it. Back in her own zone, sends ahead to Christensen. Michigan up 2-0. That puck skitters and jumps back into the Lakers zone, right in front of the Lakers bench, then back into the neutral zone, but a whistle. That's going to be brought back into the Lakers zone. 6:38 left to go here in the third. Michigan up 2-0. Face off in the near face-off circle. That to Miller's right. That one back to Levinson. Levinson with the shot glove down by Miller. Oh, Eliason was right there. Beautiful job by Gargiulo to win it back to Levinson with the shot. And Eliason looking for a rebound to fire it in. They'll drop it again. Gargiulo versus Pott. That back to Levinson at the near spot. In along the end boards, chasing it outside the far circle. Heather Lamb feeds it down the boards. Here comes Levinson down the near boards of the neutral zone. And her stick was lifted up and brought over. Gargiulo chasing it. Back into the neutral zone. Ackroyd has it there. Ackroyd gains the zone, top of the far circle with the shot that got deflected. Good job by Michigan to block that. Now Pott sends it right back behind the Michigan goal. Tonello has it there, trying to feed it out in front. That deflected in along the near boards. And to pick that up is DeCreasy into the near corner. Levinson trying to dig it off the boards and get it to DeCreasy. And sent right back in by Tonello. Gargiulo right back behind their own goal, puts it in along the far boards. That grab by Eliason. Eliason bringing it ahead. Over to DeCreasy. DeCreasy coming down the far boards. DeCreasy trying to get past the poke check, but that stopped. Heather Lamb feeds it back to the Michigan blue line. Matthews gets it ahead to Rubin. Rubin trying to bring it up the far boards. Rubin chasing it into the Lakers zone. Gibbs moves it back over. That's sent ahead. Knapp chasing it into the Michigan zone. Picked up by forehand on the far near circle of her own zone. She feeds that ahead. Here comes Matthews. Matthews over center ice. Gains the zone. Matthews outside the far circle. Centering attempt trying to get to Swanson. That knocked back behind the goal. Swanson on the near circle. Coming over through the slot. Swanson. There's a shot from the top circle that was knocked away. Matthews has it in the far corner. Matthews ends up down on the ice. Puck loose, pulled away by Swanson. That through the slot. Now Knapp feeds it down the ice. Forehand chases it on the far circle of her own zone, trying to avoid pressure by Knapp. Puts it right back into the neutral zone where Matthews has it. Backhands it from the center line all the way back deep, right back behind Miller. 4:35 left to go here in the second. 2-0, Michigan with the lead as that puck skitters all the way back, covered up by Conniff, as Sarah Lamb was bearing down on the crease. 4:28 left to go here in the third. Michigan 2, Lake Superior State University nothing. Face off in the far face-off circle. And one back in along the end boards by Rubin. Evans sends it outside the near circle. Send it ahead. Here comes Rubin. Rubin over the center line. Rubin has it on the near circle. Rubin with the shot and knocked down on front. Miller trying to get to it. Now Lindahl chasing it. That pulled away in along the far boards. Here comes the Lakers with numbers. Izzy German pokes it away in along the far boards. That grab by Gary, top of the far circle. Now Gary spins, shoots. That goes wide to the far side. Outside the near circle, Bremer trying to keep it in. Here comes Michigan. Kolwich feeds it all the way down. That will be icing and head back into the Michigan end. 3:48 left to go here at Taffy Able Arena. Face off in the far face-off circle. Back upon its right, Michigan up 2-0. Trying to hang on for the win. Lakers trying to cut into that Michigan lead. Trying to get some momentum back. That puck loose, shot from the top of the far circle, goes into the near corner. Evans trying to feed it back, but held in by Tricia Smith. Moves it over on the far circle to Ormstrow with the shot. And blocked out in front. Ormstrow with another shot. Saved by Poneth and along the near boards. Evans feeds it all the way down the ice. Icing waved off. Ormstrow chases it back behind her own goal. Trying to get over there is Lindahl. Now that picked up by Tonello. Coming down the near boards is Ackroyd. That's knocked away, but Ackroyd gets it back on the near circle. Ackroyd with a shot save. Poneth into the near corner. You say Poneth is one of the best goaltenders in the nation. It is no doubt. She is amazing. Has been very, very steady. All the way back into the far corner it goes. Chasing it, Eliason. Trying to hold it in, but that slips back to the Michigan blue line where Bryce has it. Bryce over to Levinson. Levinson feeds it ahead. Now Eliason gains his zone, but offsides. Trying to time it up just right, and a Wolverine just over that line too quickly. That will come back outside of the Lakers zone in the near face-off circle. Under 3 minutes to go, 2:50 left in the third, 2-0 Michigan with the lead. Matthews in to take the face-off versus Gibbs. That deep into the Lakers zone into the near corner. Pulled back away by Adams there. Adams coming down the far boards, knocking it, trying to get it into the neutral zone. That floats ahead. Now pulled away. Katie German feeds it right back into the Lakers zone. Into the near corner it goes. Adams has it there. Matthews trying to pull it away. Outside the near circle, Knapp has it. Right back behind the goal. Adams puts it into the near corner of the Lakers zone. 2:25 left to go here in the third. That brought ahead by Heather Lamb in along the far boards, but knocked into the far corner by Simmer, who had the second goal for the Wolverines. Now Swanson on the near circle. That kind of jumped over, forehand stick back into the neutral zone. Michigan has to touch back up. Now forehand bringing it in the far boards, getting it away from Knapp. And loose right at the Lakers blue line, trying to put it deep with Simmer. Pulled away by Adams, who goes over her own blue line. Sends it over to Heather Lamb, who gains the Michigan zone. Heather Lamb on the near circle of the Michigan zone into the near corner. Fires it off the back of the net as that comes outside of the far circle. Picking up there. Here comes Sarah Lamb on the goal line. Now drifts back behind Ponit. Sarah Lamb trying to come over on the near side. Rubin has her pinned against the boards. Forehand. Trying to lever that puck off the boards. Out underneath the far circle. Rubin sends it around. Grabbed and a shot deflects off the glass outside the near circle. Gary has it. Gary back to the near point to Adams. Knocked away by Evans. Here comes Evans. 1 minute, 13 seconds left. Evans has that poke checked away by Heather Lamb. Now Lindahl trying to chase it into the near corner. That brought back into the neutral zone. Gathering it in is Colwich. Colwich hits it. That tipped by Rubin all the way back. Less than a minute to go here in the third. Michigan up 2-0, looking for the sweep. Bringing it ahead is Jaremko. Jaremko feeds it high, slot over to Sarah Lamb now. Gary has it on the far circle, saved by Ponit. 42 seconds left to go. Arjulo knocks it away. Shot! Ooh, that just goes wide as Hornstra knocked it from the far slot. Now that knocked away. Trisha Smith has it poked away, coming ahead with it, and sent deep by Eliason into the near corner. 26 seconds left to go. 2-0 Michigan with the lead. Trisha Smith gets it to the blue line, but fired deep by Izzy German into the far corner. 17 seconds left to go. And pull back, top of the far circle, moving over to Crazy, looking for his second goal of the game. That knocked down and saved by Miller. 10.6 seconds left to go. Michigan 2-0. Looking for a big win here. And back to Levinson. Levinson puts it into the near corner. 8 seconds left to go. And right out in front in the slot. Lakers trying to clear it away. And that will do it. Michigan sweeps the series 1-0 yesterday. 2-0 today. A pair of shutouts for Ponit, who was an absolute wizard between the pipes. All good things happening on the other side by the Lakers. Goaltending as well. Miller played very well as Kachuk yesterday. But Michigan able to get 3 pucks back behind the net on the weekend, and they will walk away with all the points. Michigan winners 2-0. We will be back on the air with field hockey, Pioneer High School field hockey tomorrow. And then our next Michigan broadcast will be on October 13th. Michigan will host University of Utah at Yost Dice Arena. That's a Thursday at 8 p.m. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you for cheering on and supporting this team wherever you are at. Third period action. It was a Michigan goal at 17:31. That by Simmer. Interference that to Jaremko, that a Laker penalty of 15-15, and that is what we had in the third. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you when we're back on the air.